is the Glass Cannon Network.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday night. It's time for chaos, but more importantly, it is officially fall here in the world. It's fall. It's September. Once you're into September, it's fall. We got Halloween decorations up in my house. There's pumpkins everywhere. I'm eating cider donuts. It is fall, whether you like it or not. And this leads me right into my question. I can tell, Noura, you're already going to answer incorrectly. Does anyone here not like fall?
Oh, no, I love fall.
Do you?
I love fall. I hate summer so much.
Okay, well then we're cool.
I feel, we got scammed as children. Like, summer is cool only because we had school off.
Yeah.
And now that I'm an adult and school is not in my life, fuck summer. Like,
Can we all agree
terrible.
that summer is the worst of all seasons? Is there anyone here that's a big summer head?
I got no beef with summer in particular. I don't know.
Get
I think there's pluses and minuses to both. I don't go all in on anything. This is probably a real issue in my life. Henceforth, that's not the right word. Meaning that I don't commit to anything. This is not, I'm just burying. Dig up, stupid.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Yeah, I think summer's cool. I think about I like wearing summery outfits. I think that's fun, I feel like summer drinks are a thing,
Okay.
Summer, like a summer salad, summer soups, a gazpacho.
Do you like being hot constantly?
Salads,
I like pretending that I'm in Vampire Weekend, just like on Cape Cod, like fucking talking about clam bakes and shit. Like that's, but I'm not committed to summer. Fall, I think has a lot going on for it. Also, though, the light starts to go away, and I feel like I start getting depressed more. I think I'm one of those people. Where the light is tied to my mood.
You just got to get one of these lights here. I can't. It's tied to my camera.
I thought you were going to hold up antidepressants.
This is what it looks like when I turn it on. I put that on for 30 minutes in the morning, and it really does the trick.
You just blast a light in your face?
Just blast a light in your face. That's all you got to do.
Like a little tanning bed?
No. I don't know. Maybe it's giving me some color, but I do it every morning, and it really makes me feel better. Especially because I had that seasonal affective disorder, and I used to live when I first moved to New York. I lived in a basement apartment that didn't have any light, and I was poor and had no money to eat. So I was just like, this is the worst. But during the fall and winter, I used to get that seasonal affective disorder, but now I just pop this bad boy on. We're good to go.
Okay.
Maybe I'll leave this on all show.
I like fireplace weather.
Yes.
I want to sit in front of a fireplace. I want to be I want cozy blankets everywhere.
Yep.
And
Smoky drinks.
Yeah.
Sure.
Drinks made in a little smoke
great.
box. Is anybody else here on Rob's weird non-committal side?
I feel like maybe I am.
Oh, here we go.
I knew it.
I mean, summer's fine, but like any other season except for, really just summer and winter. At a point you get sick of it because they're the longest ones, because the other ones are transitional. They don't last long enough. But I have seasonal allergies every season, and fall and spring are pretty bad. So, but I do like the cool down. I like that it gets darker. I don't like light that much.
Yeah.
Too much sometimes.
So you wouldn't like one of these?
No. When I worked in a big office.
Stop showing off, Troy, with your lights.
When I worked in a big office building in the financial district, people at our desks had those, and I thought they were really weird, but whatever works.
I used to be those people as well, but 30 minutes a day keeps the sads
For
away.
people who are just listening, just so you know, it just looks like Troy is turning on a desk lamp.
Yeah.
And bragging about it.
He's just underlighting his face like a member of the Midnight Society about to tell a spooky story.
But they're like advertised like these like
this.
sun replacement lights. Yeah.
That looks like an
It sounds
iPad.
like a tablet.
Yeah, it does, right? It's
You
like
know
an
what?
iPad size.
I think you're right. It wasn't that you weren't making a lot of money, you weren't eating good food, you were in a basement apartment that was like maybe shitty. It was definitely the light you were missing.
You know,
Yeah.
it's made a big difference. I've only had this since Christmas, but it's fantastic. Listen, my hardest thing is like I don't know what I like more, fall or winter, because I like them so much more than anything else. Because I love fall, football, leaves changing, birthday, all the great stuff that comes with that. But I love winter because nothing brings me more joy than Christmas. But also nothing brings me more sadness than the day after Christmas.
This is the
until
thing.
the following Christmas.
And then maybe this is my take, is like, I feel like we only love the beginnings of seasons. It's like when the transition happens, it's like, yes, the leaves, the fall, the pumpkin spice is back in stores. Hurrah.
The first snow.
The first snow. Cut to a month into spring when it's rainy, 2 months into summer when the sun is actively trying to kill you. Several months into winter when you're knee deep in slush. And when you go to work and when you come home from work, it is dark both times. And it's like, yeah, it becomes burdensome. So you gotta find joy where you can, though, I suppose.
Does that make us fickle? Are we fickle?
Yes. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Worse things than
perhaps
being
nothing is
fickle.
so delightful as anticipating the season which is to come, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like the weather is fickle.
Mm-hmm.
that's true. That's deep.
I just Googled what fickle means. I was like, what the?
You just used a word you didn't know in a sentence.
That's how you learn.
That's right.
Seems
you
to
gotta
me
get
that
out over
the
your skis a little bit.
weather is fickle.
It is fickle, changeable ass
Nobody
weather.
said anything.
Can't make up its mind.
It will soon enough. We will have made it up its mind for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy these seasons while we got them, because
While they
pretty soon.
exist. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the content our fans subscribe to.
Yeah.
This is, you know.
Talking about
What,
Colin.
seasonal affective disorder talk and casual doom saying?
Colin, what's your favorite season? Let's go to the phone lines real quick.
But yeah, Pumpkin
No,
Pie
I-
Rules Autumn's great.
It always interests me because I don't understand anyone that enjoys summer more than another season. Like, it's fine to be like, I had a great summer. Hey, I like going to the beach. Sure. I don't like walking out of my house after showering and immediately being soaked. I've talked about this ad nauseum. I hate it. So anyone that likes summer more than fall or winter is just like, it's like an alien to me. I don't understand that. So nothing brings me more joy than like this week of the year. Right now. Now.
All right.
This
It's
is my
not
favorite.
fall. Fall is the 22nd.
If I'm having a pumpkin spice latte, it is fall.
Go ahead, but technically it's not fall. So
It's been over 100 degrees all week here.
I was going to talk to anybody on the West Coast who's incinerating right now.
Yesterday.
Guys got to get out of that,
Almost.
that West Coast nonsense.
It's brutally hot. The post-apocalyptic motorcycle gangs are forming. We're hoarding gasoline. It's all happening over here.
Well, if it's happening there, it's certainly happening here at Time for Chaos, because last week's episode was one of my favorite episodes we've done across the network. I could not stop thinking about that episode for days after we finished recording it. And the only real downside is how disappointing this episode is going to be in comparison.
See?
My dice rolls will probably be disappointing.
Well, we'll see. I'm really interested to see where it goes tonight, and it'd be great if my camera would stop being an asshole too.
It's disagreeing with your
It's
weather
the
take.
ghost of autumn.
The fuck. Hey, let's see the map of Juju House real quick. I have been sitting on this map for weeks now, and every time you went to Juju House, I considered bringing it out. But it's one of those things, once you bring a map out, the players start thinking, oh, time to get ready to kill something. And I just didn't want to throw it all out there because there's plenty of maps in this adventure. There's no combat whatsoever. But I didn't want to lead you along too much. But I am glad that we were finally able to bring it out last week as you guys began to explore in earnest what the hell is going on at the Juju House. So let's talk about last week. You God, it was so fun. You basically were split up because Vaughn was chasing down who he thinks to be Makunga Madari, some mysterious figure that is somehow connected to Juju House, leaves Juju House and walks maybe to his residence somewhere closer to the east side. Vaughn follows him there, loses him in whatever room he goes into, and then is accosted by 4 policemen of the 14th precinct, presumably under Dobson. You're able to get out of that. What did I say? Dobson? Robeson. Whatever the fuck his name is. Robeson. I don't know. It's,
God, they're working for Focus on the Family.
It's Robeson. And you're able to get out of that with some sweet talk. Do they know who you are? Are they just trying to scare you? Or are you just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Either way, you get out of there unscathed. You go over to the building because you see your dear friend from back in the day, a man who we think is no longer part of this world, beckoning you towards the building. You go into the building, you can't see your friend anymore, but you do see the names of all the people that live in the building. You see a Madari, so you break in. Meanwhile, back at Juju House, Carter, Feyruz, and Margot are breaking and entering as well, and you sneak downstairs. Carter stays upstairs to look at the journal, sees a strange monthly or weekly payment to WR14, I believe, goes to the back room and finds a knife similar to the knife that killed Jackson Elias, and another headband type mask, but instead of a piece of red felt hanging down from it, has a mummified human tongue hanging from it. Feyruz and Margot, meanwhile, go downstairs. They're looking around. There's this big circular hole in the floor or something. Looks like it's covered by a big stone, and there's a curtain in the back. You go to move the curtain aside, and it's full of stuff back there. There's like claws hanging on the wall, and a robe, and books, and a weird chronometer on the wall. There's also 4 zombie-like creatures. 4 looks like former residents of the area, their entrails leaking out of them, and just a deadness in their eyes, and they come after you. You scream for Carter. Carter comes down to help. Meanwhile, back at Madari's, perhaps his apartment, Vaughn breaks in, finds a small little box with some horrific monster on the cover, and inside 3 vials of a liquid that seems to be almost alive in its movements as the light catches it. Vaughn also shares a moment with his old dear friend. Is that person there? Is it all part of Vaughn's deteriorating sanity? Who knows? You've dispatched of these creatures. Vaughn has exited Makunga Madari's apartment. We'll pick up back at Juju House. Carter and Margot and Feyruz are down there, I imagine just like trying to catch your breath from this attack. What do you want to do here? You've obviously snuck in at a time when no one is around, but you don't know how long you have before someone is around. What is your plan of action here?
I think we should see what this hole in the ground is.
Do you know, I thought it was the safe bet to open the curtain, and now I'm afraid of the hole in the ground. But immediately after these guys fall, when we got down here, Margot took a photo of the room. I want to take a photo of the room again. Now that all this has happened, and a photo behind the curtain, just because I feel like we're too scatterbrained to really look at anything closely right now.
Oh, can we do a spot hidden while we're here?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Just a general
Dice
sort of
out.
spot hidden on the room.
Yep. Let's see. Got a 22 under 80, I believe. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't see anything right now. I'm a little overwhelmed.
Yeah. Me neither. Rolled a 400 over 25. I might be rolling too many dice.
I think that's too many dice.
I don't know.
Yeah, the main chamber itself is surprisingly barren, with the exception of this winch mechanism connected to the stone slab covering the floor. The only thing that looks to be of interest beyond that in this first room are the symbols all over the place that none of you recognize at all. If you remember, the symbols were getting stranger and stranger and more incomprehensible.
Right.
I'll tell you what's freaking Carter out right now is seeing these former zombies. Intestines out, carving on the forehead, right? I mean, that's exactly what they did to Jackson, right? Like, I think Carter quickly, I know it was the heat of battle, we probably would have learned this earlier, but just wants to double check these bodies and make sure one of them is not Jackson. And the other thing that now I'm in character. See, there's a clear difference when I'm speaking. The other thing that's fucking freaking me out right now, guys, is this is evidence. We've got evidence, right? This guy, how do we know that what's his name, Hilton Adams, is not going to fry this morning?
Okay, but at the same time, we are now doubly implicated in this. We've just killed all these people. How are we going to explain to the police that they were zombies? Or whatever.
Yeah, that is a problem.
We remove this stone slab, and perhaps best case scenario, we hide the bodies in there and get out of here.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So what if in this slab, and I don't know, the world's kind of topsy-turvy right now. What if inside this hole is these things, they were going to put these guys in there? What if it's like a sacrificial whatever? Then we're going to piss something off. We have a chance right now to maybe get out of here and maybe save that dude's life. I know Vaughn was super pumped about that. I'm sure he's doing just fine right now.
Listen, we didn't come this far just to overlook a very important part of what's inside this room.
That's true. I would just hate to look down there and then be eaten. And then I'm dead, more importantly. But then also, Hilton Adams is dead because we weren't able to, help him out. I don't know. Freaking out.
Could we even go to the precinct right now?
We could go to, what's his name?
Really
I guess
late.
right now, yeah.
Wait, okay, immediately. Let's think immediately. Right now, if you are afraid of somebody eating you, the best way to know is to throw one of the bodies in there.
I don't really follow, but I'm also a pushover.
Because if somebody starts eating something, if something starts eating one of them, then we know to get the hell out of here.
Also, I think we should I agree we should make sure we've seen everything in this room. I mean, we think that we have everything that we need to exonerate this man, but maybe we don't.
We're also part of a crime scene.
But here's the thing. These people could be people that were taken weeks ago, months ago, and we have alibis. We weren't here. I wasn't here. None of us were in town until however many days ago. So if they identify these bodies and they're like, oh, that's so-and-so, they disappeared at this part of Harlem on this date, then it's not us, we found them.
Yeah, but now they're dead because of us.
Well, I think they were already, I don't know if they were really alive at this point. When we met them, they seemed a little discombobulated, intestinally speaking.
I think we should just take a quick look behind the curtain here and see, is there anything else that could be useful evidence we can take, and then open the hole.
Okay, let's open the thing. Yes. We'll give a peeky peek. I don't think we should throw the bodies in there. I think the bodies are going to exonerate us more than not.
And I will take a picture of each one just in case they destroy evidence when we leave or something like that.
Also, we need to get our story straight. They were dead when we got here.
I would assume so. I don't think many people are living with that kind of...
That's going to be hard to explain to people. That there are zombies. They're not going to believe us, but we were down here and we found them like this.
We
Okay, that's
acted
fine.
in
That's fine.
self-defense.
Yeah.
No,
No,
we
we
don't have to
didn't
talk
act
about them
at all.
attacking us.
We didn't act at all.
Breaking and entering.
We found them like this.
You found 4 people. You'd be your word against theirs. Those were my uncles and aunts. They were down there having dinner.
Who's talking to us right now? Is that my conscience?
Just letting you know that, like, this
Well,
could look really bad.
I'm
oh,
looking
yeah,
at
they were
everyone-
zombies, right?
Yeah, the zombie thing's not gonna fly.
But I'm looking at us and it's like, Feyruz was punching one of the zombies. You probably have blood at least all over your arm. Not maybe your clothes.
Yes, obviously.
You shot them and...
I can't believe Carter. I
Well,
can't
we're
believe
not
I'm
going
saying this, but
directly.
it's like, but also these bodies being here could actually provide closure. Again, I want to throw up in my mouth. Could provide closure for the families that have been just racked with despair since these people left. So let's check any curtains that are left. Let's winch that winch, and then give a peeky, and then I say we book it.
Yes.
Yes.
And then clean up before we talk to anybody.
We should definitely clean up because I am a mess.
All right, so you want to check out the little alcove where the creatures were that attacked you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's a lot going on in here where the room that you're in now, where the battle took place, is relatively empty. It seems like everything is stored back here in this alcove. The things that sort of jump out at you, you see a long feathered robe of shimmering colors hanging on a peg near the rear part of the room, and also like a long set of like claws, like Freddy Krueger type claws.
Oh yeah.
And situated above them is a modern looking chronometer hanging on the wall. Are you all in there just kind of looking around at whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Pushing over Feyruz's spot hidden, one thing jumps out at you. You see a mask peeking out of something covered in leather's hide. It seems like everything in here is covered in leather hide. There's a mask. There's you find this burnished copper bowl that's etched with unrecognizable runes and sigils. You see a scepter. Looks like a wooden scepter. A headband of like gray metal. You find a cash box, looks like a cash box that's locked. You find a book. And you also find a mask similar to the one that Carter found upstairs, that headband that looks just like the ones that the guys were wearing that killed Jackson, but it's a little nicer than the one that was in Silas's quarters, but it too has a mummified human tongue, and both Feyruz and Margot see that, and it provokes a sanity roll. It's just this real human tongue hanging from off the headband.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Carter's cool with it.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, I got a 96 over 90. I get to lose some.
Only 1 point.
Okay.
1 point of sanity, which is also what I believe Carter lost. Seeing that shakes you. How do you think that manifests, that sort of loss, that little break?
I think like she was able to keep it together through all of that re-killing of dead zombies, and just the last little bit left, she sees this like dead tongue with the headband, and it's just a bit too much. Maybe it's bringing her back to Peru where they saw crazier stuff, and she's just really scared to open the hole in the floor.
Okay, so Margot, if you look over at her, seems like lost for a second, but she shakes out of it. And yeah, those are the things that kind of jump out at you when looking in here. There's also on the wall beside the alcove, there are 2 long, stout poles coming out from the wall, and dangling from the poles are like leather thongs that are made into small loops. And then next to that, on the floor, where Feyruz jumped behind, are some crates and a crowbar. And the crates all say Emerson Imports.
Mm-hmm. Let's get some photos of those.
Yes.
Tie those to them. We photograph this whole horrifying thing with the thongs and the whatnots.
Oh yeah.
Also,
no, I get
Carter,
every angle.
Do you see this box here? That's this locked box. Do you think you could open it?
Yes, I do.
And then if Carter is going to check that box, I want to check that book.
Okay.
The box is locked, I'm guessing.
The little lockbox, yeah. Yeah, you can give me a locksmith roll on the lockbox.
All right. Ladies, I know it was impressive during that fight, but you haven't seen anything yet. As I roll. Oh, a little less impressive than I wanted. 48 over 43. Now here's the thing, Troy. We didn't do a luck roll for the session yet.
We didn't.
The result of that may influence this.
Right. All right. Let's do that luck roll and see if you gain any luck. Just remember where you're at. Remember, this is what you want to fail, and then you'll get 1d10.
Oh no! Wait, no, I succeeded. Never mind.
I failed. And I only get 3 points, but whatever.
Okay. Hey,
Fine.
3 points is
That's
better
fine.
than none.
I failed also and got 3 points. It ain't nothing.
Three
Failed
points
and failing.
You failed at failing?
Yeah.
What about Carter?
Of course, I succeeded. So I'm not gonna spend. I only have 21 luck. I'm not gonna spend the 5 I think I need to do this. So how big is the lockbox? Can I just take it?
Yeah, you could. You could push the roll.
Oh, that's an interesting. I forgot about that move. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. Let's do that.
Okay. Push it.
Real good.
Push it. Okay.
Push it real good.
Push it real good. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, locksmith.
Yeah.
Nope. I got a fucking 99. Kill me right now.
Salt and pepper are not in effect.
Nope.
Oh, no.
And what is your score?
This is Spinderella's domain.
Yeah.
A 43.
All right, so that's a fumble. That's not only a failed push roll, that's also a fumble.
Yeah.
So, what I'll say is you go to jimmy this lock open, and the metal that's sort of containing whatever's inside of it is very flimsy. It's more of like what you'd use to build an old septic tank, which I don't know if you realize this, like old septic tanks, you can just like fold up and put in a drawer. That's how flimsy that is. So this, you made that basically you crush the box and you hear things inside just go crunch.
I'm sure that was just, I'm sure this is a miniature septic tank.
It's just a miniature septic
This is
tank.
probably fine. You know what? The more I look at this, the more I realize this is not very valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right back on their shelf.
Right up there.
I don't think they'll notice that.
Crunch that box. Meanwhile, Feyruz goes over and looks at the book. Go to look at the book, and let me see. It's in English, it looks like, which is good. And it's important so that you recognize that the title is Africa's Dark Sex.
Yes.
Yes! Totally pocket it.
Africa's Dark Sex by Nigel Blackwell. Looks like it was printed in
forbidden book.
1920.
I'm wondering, did you mention seeing the mask there? Because if you did, I feel like
I totally talk out like this is
love to look at that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't hold anything back from any of you.
All right, so Margot steps past, goes over to this mask. It's very, very, very strange looking. It appears similar in some ways to some of the masks that you saw upstairs. Very obviously African in its vibe. It's a carved wooden African-looking mask, but it has like 4 hideous faces, like perched above a thick corded neck with like a basket-like collar made out of reed, feathers, and fabric. So basically it's the type of mask that you would like put over your head, like you'd put the basket portion over your head, it appears, and these 4 faces are on top. It's very unnerving.
So it's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay.
And this is before Julie Taymor did The Lion King.
Yes.
Well before.
Okay, so maybe origin story for Julie Taymor.
Or it's like, I feel like there's a Wicker Man scene where he's got like one of these
the beast.
things on. Yeah, it's like this basket with this shit on top. It's pretty intense. You like pull down the leather covering and you really never see anything like it. The top part looks similar to the mask you've seen upstairs, but it's much more ornate.
I mean, this all looks very ceremonial. If you look, we've got a mask, we've got this bowl and scepter, and
it's a modern-looking chronometer above everything. What is it? Can we tell what it's tracking or what time it is on there? If that's a thing it does.
Yeah. So you go and look at it, and
does this track the full moon?
It doesn't match anything else in the room. That's the first thing that jumps out at you. Like everything else, like you were just saying, Feyruz, is very tribal in nature. The scepter, the mask, obviously the book, everything. And then there's this very modern-looking chronometer on the wall. Give me an intelligence roll, the 3 of you in there.
Intelligence. Jeez, I'm still messed up. I got a 93 over 70.
Ooh. I got a 16 under 80.
Nice.
I got a 31 under 80.
All right, so
it's an extreme
and a hard. So both Carter and Feyruz notice that it's not reading the correct time. However, a step further, because it's very difficult to read. It doesn't look like a normal clock, but you can kind of deduce, okay, wait, this isn't what time it is now. However, Feyruz, you also notice that it seems to be tracking Greenwich Mean Time, some 4 hours ahead of New York time.
That's strange. Carter, do you see this?
I see a portion of that. Some of what you think, I think.
Why are they tracking Greenwich time?
That's, you know what? Vaughn would know. That's England time. Maybe Vaughn is a part of this. Shit!
No.
I trusted that motherfucker. Oh, you're right. Sorry, I'm still on edge.
All right. I'm still very curious as to know what's this circular closed off thing.
Should I aim my gun at it as you open it?
I just want to point out again, I feel like we're playing, and gambling is a term, you're playing with your house money right now, and I feel like we got all this evidence, we got this shit, look at this mask, look at this thong, we can get out of here, we can maybe save this man's life, we've got a ledger, we can blow this whole thing up, people won't get killed anymore, there's a Dark of the Moon's coming up, someone else is gonna get taken. I think we should just nuke it from orbit. You know what I mean?
How are we going to nuke it if we need this? We don't even know what we're looking at. What's going to be down there?
Okay, all right. Okay.
Feyruz is like, the academic that she is like hell-bent on needing to know what this is.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think Margot wants to look, but she knows we're not leaving until we do.
Okay, I'm just gonna stand by the door. Not for any reason. other than I've got to pee. And I would rather be the first to the bathroom when we decide to leave. So you guys go ahead and start. I'm going to be right over here.
I draw my gun just in case.
You'll be right here.
Is this a one-person job?
Well, let's say you walk over to it. Who's the one that's going to try and lift it up?
Let me look what my strength is. I could do it.
Okay. It's going to be a two-hand thing, so like
Okay.
whoever's lifting it can't have a gun drawn.
Okay.
And what is your strength, Fairuz?
75.
75. All right, so you go to pull it down, and it doesn't move at all.
Yes.
In Call of Cthulhu terms, that means you need to start adding more bodies to it to try and combine your strengths.
All right.
And you could find out that you don't have enough strength.
Okay.
Perhaps, Margot, you keep your gun drawn, and Carter, worst case scenario, you pee in this hole.
If I had a dime.
Okay. I'm just saying, if a tentacle comes out of here, I've a card.
Now be a good man and help me remove this.
Well, when you put it like that, when you question my manhood, all right, fine. Here I come to this thing. Fuck. Damn. Muttering.
What is your strength, Carter?
It's a 70.
70. And what is yours? I'm sorry, Fairuz, what's yours?
75.
70, 75. Okay, so combined 145. Okay. Give me a roll, Fairuz, a strength roll.
Just really want you to fail this.
17.
7.
She's determined.
So, Fairuz and Carter, two hands on this.
What if Carter's just going like, I can't. It's just
Not really helping.
not everything.
Two hands on this thing are trying to push it down. And Margot, you're just standing there with your gun out,
Yeah.
making sure there's no problems. And you start pushing, and you're really, really giving it. And all of a sudden, the stone begins to lift. And then we come back to the streets of New York.
You fucker.
Moonlight, beautiful crescent moon cutting through the clouds. Where is Vaughn at this point? Now, he walked across town, maybe only, I think I said 15, 20 minutes away from your rendezvous point at the pawn shop outside of the Juju House. Is it your plan to go back there? Where are you at?
Vaughn is extremely shaken after what he's experienced, and has this box sort of like tucked in his jacket, and is moving very kind of going from shadow to shadow, looking around tentatively, trying to see if there is any police activity on the street, and listening for sirens, jumping at every sound, and and if he sees that moon over the tops of the buildings, it only drives home how soon the new moon is coming. And he's making his way back to his comrades who he left. And so he's headed back to the pawn shop.
Headed back to the pawn shop. You're walking around kind of on edge. You hear a bunch of trash cans fall over and see a cat scurry off, chasing a mouse.
Bloody cat. Scoots on through and continues on his way.
You're walking along, and you get back in the direction of where the Juju House is, and as you're approaching the alley, give me a spot hidden.
Okay. Oh my lord. All right, that's I rolled very well. That's a 3 under 75.
3 under 75.
Yes, Council, I believe that's what we call extreme.
That's an extreme success. Okay.
His eyes are almost bulging out of his head. Of course, he's trying to pick up every sound and movement and see if Madari or the proprietor of Juju House are moving around, or the police that he encountered.
You see, like down the edge of the alleyway, a figure at the door of Juju House who appears to be like slowly closing the door and then running down the alleyway, like awkwardly running down the alleyway back to the street.
Towards me, then?
Towards your direction. Now, you're still far enough away where you're able to observe this, but it's running, like, basically towards you.
Okay. Interesting. I would like to conceal myself as much as possible and try to let him pass so that I can see who it is and pass unnoticed.
Okay. You conceal yourself, and you see the figure get closer and closer and closer, and it's the old man, Silas Nakwane. And he just looks one way, looks the other, and, like, crosses the street to go over in the direction of, like, Central Park. It looks like he's on a mission.
Okay.
He's gonna get help.
Yeah. Time's of the essence. Okay, as soon as the coast is clear, I run to the door of the Juju House and try to open it.
You run to the door of the Juju House, and you try to open the door, and it's locked.
Should have tripped him or something.
Shit, we locked it, yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Well, you saw him closing it.
Oh,
Right.
that's true.
So he's inside. He was in there. And of course, I guess I might peep through the slats of the pawn shop just to make sure that everyone's not there. And
Yeah.
if they're not there, then I make the assumption that based on that, I think what has happened, that he is aware of their presence. All right. I kick the door down.
Kick the door down. Give me a strength roll.
Oh, okay. I'm going to spend a couple of those newfound points of luck to get that down to a regular old success. I rolled an 81 over 75.
81 over 75.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
so 6 points.
You what do you do, elbow or foot? You said kick the door down, right?
I'm still clutching the box. So I sort of back. You could watch me back up across the alley and then sort of like lunge forward and with my foot kind of put my weight against the knob and the bolt and like just try to crush it open.
Okay, so you hit it with such force that your foot basically goes through a part of the door, and you don't knock it completely off its hinges, but there's enough of a hole there that you feel like you could keep going at it if you wanted to get it open.
Great. I do so.
Okay. This seems pedantic, but give me one more strength check.
That's a success. Yeah. 59 under 75.
So you come up to the alley, you see someone quietly closing the door, locks it obviously, and then just bolts, presumably to get help. You just come up and you, boom, kind of knocks it up, and then, boom, the door bursts open. And we cut back to downstairs, where the stone slab is coming up. Margot standing there with her gun in her hand, still shook from seeing that mummified human tongue. Carter, almost against his will, helping Feyruz scratch her curiosity. You lift it up, and It really takes all your strength, and it comes up, and it kind of stops at a certain point. Like you can keep pushing up so that you don't have to keep exerting force. And you see underneath what looks like a few dozen people. At first, that's what it looks like. And they're all like mouths open. But then you realize when you look that it isn't a few dozen people. It's like one pulsating mass that has all these faces coming out of it. Everybody roll a sanity check.
Close it.
Vaughn.
I actually quit the game, so I don't have to roll shit. Been a pleasure.
Rob lost his sanity check.
Goodbye.
47 under 78.
47 under 78, success.
87 under my new 89.
Oh my God. Oh,
Trying to keep it together.
There's a rock.
I got a 16 under 54.
holy shit. All right, so everybody roll 1d4.
All right.
As I'm still shouting, close it, close it, close it, close it.
I got a 3.
I got a 2.
I got a 3.
That's your sanity damage for succeeding.
Oh.
We gained that, right?
No, you lose that. Now, how many of you lost today, Carter? Just one from the tongue?
From this session?
From this day?
Oh, the day. Yeah, just one from the tongue, 3
All
from
right,
the
so
pulsating face pizza.
Okay. The pulsating, you just see all these faces, and as you're like, close it, close it, close it, they all begin weeping and shrieking, just like,
My God.
And Vaughn, you hear that from downstairs.
And also, close it, close it.
Before you close it, I take a picture. Before you close it, I snap real quick because I didn't lose sanity, so I do it.
All right,
Fuck
I like
closing
that.
it. Let's just go.
Or whatever.
Chug. Everybody roll another sanity check for this horrible sound. And Vaughn, it starts to pierce your ears as well. It is a sound from another place and time.
I think I like maybe even like drop to my knees and I'm like pulling up the carpet above the trap door. And is it open?
Yes,
or is it unlocked?
Yeah, in fact, the carpet is pushed away because Carter came
Yeah, I never
careening down.
closed it when I ran down there.
I fling it open and I guess like that sound just amplifies as I open the door. Like,
All the faces crying.
oh God, I have to get out of here.
What did everybody get on their sanity
At
roll?
38 under 86.
Wow.
A 26 under 76.
Yowza.
I failed that shit.
No.
Oh, I assume that my friends.
This is? I'm not going to point fingers, Noura, but it's your fault.
I
We all
assume
knew
that's
who
my
my
friends
character
down there.
was.
Oh God, I up there. Vaughn is like in one hand clutching the box and in the other shakily taking a pistol out of his belt and just like, oh God, preparing for the worst.
And what was your score, your sanity roll, Vaughn?
My sanity roll? Oh no, just from hearing it.
Yeah. You didn't see it, but you take, you have to check your sanity from the wailing sounds.
All right, I rolled a 39 over 36.
Margot and Fairuz take 1 point of sanity damage. Carter and Vaughn roll 1d6.
It's fine. I'm going to roll a 1. I don't give a shit. It's fine. I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 3.
Okay. So Carter, that's 4 plus how many?
4 plus 3
Plus
and
1.
plus 1. 4 plus
8.
Okay.
And what was your, is that more than 1/5 of your?
I started this session with 54.
54. Okay, so I think you're okay. Carter's okay. A couple more points and you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Are you able to unlatch this thing and drop it before something horrible happens? Let's get into Dex initiative here. Margot, you, what is your normal Dex?
80.
And you have a gun drawn. You're the only one with a gun
I think I might have put it down because I took a picture. So I need to pick it up again.
Can we just run?
Yes, I'm just trying to see how fast you are.
I see.
Vaughn, what is your dex?
40.
And were you going down there with a gun?
I think, yes, that was the idea.
Okay. And then Carter, what's your dex?
40.
40 and Feyruz.
55.
55. Okay. So, you're all standing there, and Vaughn comes flying down the stairs, wood chips all over his feet.
Unhand them, you blackguards! As like through the door, and then I see you there, guts strewn all over the floor from these zombones.
Yeah, I mean, you come down there and you see 4 dead bodies, just like entrails all over the floor, and you see your friends, and then you look over and you see this mass of faces just...
Dear God.
And that provokes a sanity roll from you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's...
When the sanity comes in this game, it's just...
We could have left.
That's gonna be a failure. 79 over 33.
I need you to roll 2d4.
2d4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, because we all passed, so we only did 1d4. Oh, man.
1d4 on a pass.
Oh,
2d4
brother.
Fail.
6.
6.
Roll a
That
4
is
and a
enough
2.
for a break. So, where it's more than 5 in one shot, give me, I think this is going to be the intelligence roll. I'm so like all over the place right now because I didn't know what was going to happen. Let me see here. I believe this is the one where you need to roll.
Like you need to fail it.
1/5, a 5 plus from one source, make an intelligence roll.
Oh God, guys, the chat. Look at the chat.
This is the one. This is the one.
It.
Yeah, I don't need to roll.
Well,
I think this amount of sanity loss,
did you go past 1/5 in a day? Because basically, if it's 5 from one source, that's when you roll, according to my cheat sheet here.
Yes, I did, because I just lost 6 and I'd lost 3 up there. My 1/5 of my sanity at the start of this session was 7.
Oh, God. All right, so you went past. So you took plus 5 from one source, which would normally be temporarily insane, but over a 5th in a day, you go indefinitely insane. So,
oh, dear God.
Here's what I think.
Mean?
What is your phobia again? That you think the dead are going to rise?
That's what it was.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Basically.
And you look down
Phobia.
there.
Well, not so much a phobia as a mania.
Mania, that's right, a mania. You look down there when you come in and you hear this sound and you hear this crying and you look down and you see all of these soldiers that you went to war with. And you know for a fact you watched every single one of them die. It's like 30 plus faces and they're all standing there and they're singing this like religious hymn. So the crying that you were hearing upstairs, you think to yourself, that's not crying, it's my friends, and they're singing like morning is broken or something.
Sing a song of the saints of God, faithful and brave and true, who lived and loved and toiled and died for the Lord they loved and knew.
This scene, like, we're all freaked out. This thing is screaming, and Vaughn comes running in with his gun drawn, but then starts singing with it.
Yep. And they're just going,
Let's go. Let's get him out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Vaughn is mentally lost right now. So he is going to need help being pulled out of here because he is just standing there singing with his friends. It now goes to Margot's turn. And after that, it's Feyruz. So if you guys want to do some sort of combination to help your friend here, just talk me through what's happening.
I think after I think we need to cover this thing back up.
No. Go, let's run.
No? Just go?
Fuck it. No.
All right, if we're just getting out of here, I know Fairuz would probably just like put like, just get one of Vaughn's arms under, over, help him carry, and she starts trying to sing along with him, even though she doesn't know this song at all.
And one was a soldier, and one was a priest, and one was slain by a fierce wild beast. They were all of them saints of God, and I mean, God willing to be one
Shut
too.
up! Go!
Like as I'm like turning him around.
Margot, you're there too as well. Are you just helping or are you running?
Yeah, I definitely like to help Vaughn. Like, I'm on the other side, like, trying to coax him through the door. Once we get through the door, shut that door.
Wait a minute, I'm still in there.
Carter, you're the last one.
We, all of us.
So I imagine Fairuz and Margot are like rushing Vaughn and trying to pull him away. What do you do?
Me?
Yeah.
I like run up and I'm just like shoving everybody out the door.
Okay. And do you shut the door behind you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about...
I'm like, this is like when you clog a toilet in a coffee shop. You don't tell anybody. You just fucking go. You pack up your laptop and you get out of there. Let's go.
Carter, I really don't think we should have left that open.
They'll deal with it. Just like the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. Why are you shutting the door to the choir, Tillinghast? Can't you hear them?
I can. And you know what? I heard that there's a concert going on at Carnegie Hall. We got to get there. They're going to be singing all the songs.
This is just we don't want to interrupt the rehearsal.
One was a doctor and one was a queen. One was a shepherdess on the green. Let's go. All of them saints of God, and I mean God.
This little stairway is just thin
too.
enough to fit one person, so you're all like struggling on this stairway to get up. Are you covering your tracks at all, or are you just getting the fuck out of there? All right, you get out there. The door is busted down from Vaughn's kicking, and you're just dragging him up the alley as he continues to sing. The song is now reverberating on the walls. Maybe you see lights go on in some of the apartment buildings because he's getting louder out there, and maybe people are coming to the curtain and looking down to see what's going on, and there's police sirens in the distance, and you just pull him away into the night.
Oh, they live not only in ages past, there are hundreds of thousands still.
I make a point to be like, shh, you're drunk. And like and then also wail along incoherently, singing and trail off as we
take a word from our sponsor. I need a 25-minute break.
The saints of God are just folk like me, and I mean to be one too.
Well, that got out of hand quickly. What the hell do you do now? Vaughn is indefinitely insane. All of you have experienced some sanity damage. I didn't really check in with Margot and Fairuz, but you both lost a couple points as well.
Yeah.
How did that sort of land on you in the moment, Margot?
I think, yeah, she's been keeping it together mostly this whole time. And it's just this stuff is eating away at her. And she like, can't look away from what's going on and doesn't want to believe it, but like totally does now. And the sanity loss is like representing that, where it's like maybe the slippery slope that she's just starting to slide down.
What about you, Fairuz?
Fairuz, as she like touches the book, as she's like moving things, as her hands are touching these items, and in the intensity of the moment, she gets these like flashbacks of being in Peru, but then it goes to these like flashbacks of being initiated into this secret society, and then like those sorts of initiation rituals, and then walking in on something maybe that she shouldn't have seen. And then goes back to where she is.
Vaughn, what are you at now for total sanity?
What a cool question. Let's see.
What a cool question.
does chat have it? I'm sorry if I wasn't doing my maths. I'm at 27, Troy. A gentleman's 27.
A gentleman's 27. 2d4. I think that might be the largest single roll we've had in the game for straight up sanity. I mean, you were teetering for so long, but in the time between Peru and now, you've spent time to try and work on this. You've regained some sanity.
Yes. Quite sober, quite sane. And I saw a dang ghost earlier too. I saw the beloved Oberon.
Yes.
But the whole regiment, all the Fusiliers are back. We're all back. The holy trump has sounded. And now, all the dead shake off their clay and stride 5 abreast into the New Jerusalem.
Vaughn, man, we don't have time for this. All right? We went through a fucking hell of a night just back there, and you come in, whatever you were doing, you show up, and you don't know which way's up or down. Come on!
Hurry!
Where's being Arabic, hearing New Jerusalem is like, up. maybe we just get you some rest.
Yeah, you're
friend.
pissing off Feiruz now. God damn it.
What happened to you when you were gone?
What happened?
Do you remember?
Yes, I remember completely clearly. Fräulein, I saw what I believe, what I suspect I know is that Madari chap. And what's more, I found the Eucharist. And I take out the box. On the night before our Redeemer faced suffering and death, he took the cup of wine. And when he had given thanks, he gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this and drink. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins." And he draws out the vial, which is dancing in his hand.
Oh, no,
As
I
often as
drank
you shall
earlier.
drink it, do this in remembrance of me.
While you're
This is all
talking,
there.
she's cupping it gently, trying to guide it back into the box.
Feiruz is looking around
Praise
to
God
Margot.
from whom all blessings flow. Praise all ye creatures here below.
Let's get back to the hotel. Let's get
Feiruz
back
is
to the
looking at
suite.
Margot and Carter, being like, "This is also very Christian-y. I'm not very familiar, but it doesn't sound very good."
Yeah, it's not. It's Catholic. It's all horrible. Let's go back to the hotel. Let's get him up there. Maybe we can call a doctor. Maybe they can give him something, little something. Knock him out. We can't be walking around the streets with
Carter, don't you have something that you can give him?
It's some sort of narcotic. Is that what we're saying? You want me to say
Maybe.
this publicly?
It's cool, man. We're not. I have to tell you if I'm a cop, and I'm not.
I don't. You're not gonna narc on me, are you, favorite? I mean, I could do a luck roll to see if Carter keeps a couple little
Sedatives,
little pills around.
little
Sure, yeah. You go do a luck roll. See if you happen to have some
Ampules of totally legal narcotics.
something to calm him down.
I mean, my luck is 21, so nope, that's a 97.
You only have speed.
Just make it worse.
I only have
meth. Have
fentanyl.
you tried meth? It's new.
You're staying at the Waldorf. It's the hotel's under his name. You're pretty far away. It's not like you can walk from 137th
Wait, sorry,
Street.
time out, Troy. Was that a fumble? Do you fumble on luck rolls?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Just want to be above board.
Yeah. So, I imagine you've got to stuff him into a. I think they have cabs. I can't remember from the forward of the book. So you're able to shove him in, and maybe it even takes you 2 cabs because after a little while of Vaughn's antics, the first guy kicks you out, and you pay him off, and you call another one. You finally get back, and now it's like the sun's coming up as you reach the Waldorf Astoria. You have a meeting with Bradley Gray, Erica Carlisle's lawyer, at like 10:30 in the morning, and it's 4:45.
I love it.
And Vaughn is in rough shape, and this isn't something that a sleep is going to just wash away. I mean, I'm sure he'll be a little bit clearer head in the morning, But in terms of game terms, any sanity break now causes an episode. Once you're indefinitely insane.
As we're trying to head into a safe, into our rooms, at any moment where we're seen publicly, Feyruz will absolutely act super drunk along with, just to counteract whatever's happening with Vaughn at the time, just to make it seem like we were just out having a good time. Nothing to see here.
The bellman is just looking at you, kind of.
I even hand him hand him a shove my flask from my pocket into his chest as the revolving door as we're pushing Vaughn and ourselves into the revolving door.
This is the Waldorf Astoria, madam. Please, act with some decorum.
Shh, it's our little secret, my friend. It's our little secret. As I shove my flask into his chest.
Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Amen.
I mean, you got the droning down of the Catholic song.
The guy at the front desk is looking at you oddly as well as you go into the elevator and the door closes. You go up to Vaughn's room. What is the plan here? What do you even do?
What
you
do
just
you
had
do?
So much information and so much what the hell is going on.
Just start smacking Vaughn around. Get a hold of yourself.
Just taking all frustrations out on Vaughn's face.
What's happened to you? Fully grab his face. What has happened to you?
What has happened? It's proof. Proof this happened to me. Faith without works is dead, but faith, we rely on that which we have not seen, but I have seen it. You all saw it. The dead have risen.
And when I hear the dead have risen, I'm brought back. I have a little flashback PTSD moment to that when we were in the little tunnels in Peru when he said those same things. Oh no.
Now, perhaps his time now is at hand. His ways are inscrutable, but perhaps now, the gates open. All those who are taken from us shall rise again, as last night they were, and I shall hold him in my arms once more. And no one can stop it, not you, not those blackguards from the 14th precinct who molested me last night. No one.
Margot pats you down a bit and tries to take your gun.
And as she's doing that stealthily, I'm just like, you know what you need, my old friend? You need some sleep. We have a big meeting in the morning tomorrow, and we can't go about our business when we're let me help you. Just tuck, and then I'm taking off his shoes and getting a space for him to rest. Maybe bring some water over.
Carter grabs the phone to phone the front desk. And he does whatever he's got to do to get to the front desk. Hello, this is Vaughn Villiers calling up in room something. And I was just wondering if you could be a good sport and send a doctor up right now. I'm feeling a little bit gassy, if you don't know what that means.
You could have sent a doctor up right now?
Yes, if you could just send anyone from the medical profession up. I feel a spot of fever coming on, if you don't mind. Thank you. Cheerio.
Sir,
what's wrong
excuse
with
me,
him?
Sir. You hang up, he calls back. Sir, there are no doctors available at the moment. It's 4:45 in the morning.
This is the Waldorf Astoria, is it not? This is ridiculous. There's no... Well, how would I procure a medical profession? No.
You could check yourself into an emergency room, but that's
that
really your
sounds
only option.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you for the advice. Hang up.
And Vaughn is watching all this, and maybe Feyruz just hears him murmur, but that's terribly odd. If I'm there, then who am I?
No. You've always been right here.
Yes.
You've always been right here the whole
What kind
time.
of goddamn hotel is this? They don't have a doctor? You can get whatever, Oysters Rockefeller. You can't get a doctor?
We also
All
don't
he
have
needs
time
is
for
some
this.
sleep.
We don't have time for any of this. We don't have time for sleep. We don't have time for him to freak out. We have a meeting, very important meeting in 5 hours. And we're all stressed and we're tired and bloody and brain broken. And what are we going to do?
I think
Nothing 3 shots of whiskey and a good night's sleep won't fix.
We can't sleep.
Oh, you could sleep fine. I bet you have great dreams all the time, Margot. You and your German dreams.
You and your German dreams.
Just kind of sighs and, oh gosh, trying to figure out what to do.
All right, guys, listen.
Now we're
Obviously-
sharing German dreams, and our hearts will beat as one. Now you
Listen to
say
thread.
it is one.
Listen.
We're gonna get kicked off of TikTok. Oh, not TikTok, of Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Parody.
Now listen, guys. Carter's grabbing the reins here. That's what he says. Third person. Carter's grabbing the reins. All right, now listen. Yeah, we got an important meeting. Should we take it? Maybe. I don't know. That's not really a priority for me right now. Right now, it's about shushing up old crazy face over here, and it's about calling the goddamn cops. I can't believe I'm saying this yet again. Seems to be a theme. We need to call and get a hold of, what's his name? Poole. We gotta call Poole.
Okay, so when we call him, what do we show him as the
He's
evidence?
coming here. We'll figure out. We're gonna get him to come
We need to
here.
get the photos developed.
Oh yeah, how long does that take?
Not go get those photos developed.
Second of all, we don't say the C word around here.
develop
Yes, so
them.
funny. So
I
funny.
was just thinking about how delightfully droll it will be if you fail, Tillinghast. And then when Mr. Adams is electrocuted, and then the poor blighter who throws the switch, the look on his face when Adams removes the shackles and walks alive away from old Sparky, for death has been banished from the earth.
It's gonna be pretty
Oh,
crazy.
to be in the
You're
room
right.
when it happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. Guys, seriously, does no one have any pills? Does no one have anything?
I
Now that you're back in
immediately
the room, I'm sure
regret
you have
giving
some
the
pills.
doorman my flask.
Yeah.
I'm sure now that you're back there with all your stuff, you could find some sedatives to calm you down.
All right. Here, Vaughn, take this. These are happy pills. Yes. Okay. This is the mini Eucharist. The pill of Christ. Okay. All right.
And perhaps I'm so. Ross the player apologizes for all his interjections, and Vaughn is just kind of going slack in the against
There we go.
chest of drawers.
This is a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Now listen.
So-
Poole probably asleep, not at the office. I'm sure we gotta call him whenever 7, 8. When do cops start working? What? Ugh. Hey, I'm gonna
Right.
think about this.
But what is our evidence? I cannot go get these photos developed
All
somewhere
right. What do you
now.
need? What do you need? What are all the little
Because
juices you need?
people,
Well, we found dead bodies.
I need an
in
itemized
there. That's
list
one
of the
thing.
chemicals needed to develop photography in 1925. Go.
Listen, it's not that simple. We will not be able to get the photos developed right now unless I can maybe call my contacts and see if I know anyone in the city who maybe has a dark room in their home. Can I roll a luck roll for that?
Yeah, to see if you know someone in the city. Yeah.
I mean, we don't even necessarily need the photos. We've got the ledger. We can just tell them to go check it out. No?
Yep.
Is that not enough?
But you have
You
the
would assume
ledger,
the
but we all
more-
have photos of the crates from the shipping house. We have disemboweled bodies.
Yeah, we took pictures at the shipping place too. But yeah, so I think Margot knows artists in the city, but she's not sure if anyone would have a dark room in their apartment or studio, private.
I mean, can't we make a dark room in the bathroom?
Yes, but we need to go shopping and get chemicals and then set it up and then replace the light bulb with the red lights and then, we have to develop the film first and then you have to project it and then
And it's got to hang
we have to
to
get
dry.
paper.
You could, while you don't know anybody, you could certainly that's what you could do today. You could skip that meeting and go find a dark room that you could rent by the hour.
If she doesn't know someone, she might do that on her own while somebody else does other stuff.
I'll go to the meeting. I feel
Let
great.
me see if I know a friend who has their own spot Because I feel like it'd be awkward trying to like develop photos like this in a public setting.
Yeah, you're an artist. You might have some artist friends.
And maybe Vaughn could come out of his stupor for just a second to be like, and if you're going to a chemist, perhaps they could also tell you the composition of this. As he's like plops down the box and like opens
Great
it up.
idea.
Oh, right, those fucking things.
Oh god, I forgot about the dancing vials.
What is this?
Dancing vials.
Oh, these were the vials I found in Madari's apartment, Ms. Gibran. You needn't worry. Oberon
Right.
showed me precisely where they were.
Oh.
Of course,
hell
yes.
is Oberon?
This asshole's
You
out there meeting people up and hanging out. Oberon?
God, not the time.
And you see the box that these vials are in has this horrific monster on it with a giant, like, tentacle coming out where a face should be.
Yeah, that looks familiar,
Yes.
I think, right? Bloody tongue and whatever.
Fayruz will just get this like one of the towels from the room's bathroom and just like make a cold compress and shh. No, Vaughn, you just lay down. You've had a long day. And we can take care of this.
Ever so kind, Miss Gibran.
Carter wants to take that box of vials and just like hide it. Just get it away from Vaughn. Like maybe it goes in one of the in the bedrooms, in the wardrobe, underneath some clothes. Just tuck that thing away. We'll deal with that.
Have I take Vaughn's hand in mine and just, as he's laying down, and just starts humming this lullaby to try to lull him to sleep. As as Margot is trying to call and as in the midst of the chaos.
I don't know anyone in the city
trying to
with
think if
their
it
own
was,
dark room.
That's okay. You definitely can get access to one. I mean, they're going to be pretty private. But yeah, I can understand the concern with these particular
So
murder
here's
scene
what's-
photos.
here's what I
and
can do.
monsters.
I can try to find like a public dark room I could rent out for a couple hours, and hopefully it's just like only me in there, or it's private. And this is what I can do today. I can get these photos developed as fast as I can. It should only take me a couple hours to figure this out.
Let's go over your sort of dangling things out there. You've done a lot, but there are still some things that maybe you haven't explored. Maybe you're like, not that interested. Obviously, you want to meet with this lawyer to see if you can set up an appointment with Erica Carlisle. His name's Bradley Gray.
Do you know what? We wanted to meet with Erica, maybe for more information about the expedition, but for the book that we now have,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
I don't know if it was necessarily to get it from her so much as to get her involvement, I guess.
Or access to her files and papers.
She's got something from her brother.
Right. No, we
the
have the book.
Yeah.
She had other information related to the expedition and stuff too. But
Here's the thing, I didn't bring my notes downstairs because I feel like I didn't bring them downstairs last session and we rolled really well. So now I don't want to ever look at them again, which might be a problem.
yeah, but having duplicates of those pictures would be great because you could then give them to Schosenberg too to publish if the pool thing doesn't pan out.
Schosenberg. Yes. Becca.
Noted. I'll make multiple prints.
God, yeah. What else?
Yeah,
Maybe
go-
don't
and-
look at them directly. Is there a way to not look at them?
Oh yeah,
Just in
drive
case
them
you
all
have
insane.
in case you keep getting
Well, we've
sanity
seen
breaks.
him once. Do we get some sort of like desensitization?
to look at,
Pizza face.
You do. There's some things that like every time you're exposed to it, but normally it's like the first time you're exposed to it is when you have to, roll sanity, and then you get desensitized to it, and then if a long time passes before you see it again, you have to roll again. But basically, yeah, you could look at those when they're done. You do have this book. So you've got that you can look through if you so choose. There was that flyer for the Cult of Darkness, maybe something that Jackson went to or was interested in going to. So talk me through this morning. Some of you aren't going to get a lot of sleep. if whoever's going to go to the Bradley Gray meeting, if you go to sleep now, you're going to get about 2.5 hours, because I imagine this is not going to be restful sleep.
We could do a try or a quad split. I don't know what. I don't really know what's going on with the Indefinite Insanity. Like, will Vaughn ever be able to do anything again, or is he just shitting himself the whole time?
Does like somebody need to keep an eye on him, or
he's just on edge. After this pill, he'll wake up and be, he'll seem just fine.
Okay.
But any other sanity damage will cause another break.
Another break. Got it. Okay.
1 point of sanity damage. So some of these, you take 1 point even on success, and that would be enough to trigger an episode.
Okay. So we've got a Bradley Gray. We've got pictures. I think we know who's doing that. And I mean, we could do the lecture guy. Maybe that could be Feyrouz, because she knows him or might know him from Miskatonic.
Mm-hmm. Part of me, or I realize Vaughn's not in this conversation, but like,
pretend we're talking about Vaughn as if we're thinking of his thoughts.
But Russ is, I don't know, like, part of me is like, if you could get the cops into Juju House,
yeah, we got to get
as soon as possible, so that, because they know that we were in there. We left a lot of traces of wreckage, so we don't want to give them a chance to clean up around there before the authorities can roll up.
So that's
maybe they were
things.
already there, because if we heard sirens when we left and the door was knocked down.
Yeah.
But we need to hit up
If they
Poole.
called cops, it would be their cops.
Yeah, we got to hit up Poole directly, because he knew about Robeson, and you guys went back to him a second time and talked to him.
Yeah.
At least give him a call. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 4 things.
We could try giving Poole a call right now. Explain what happened.
Yeah, it's 5.
Maybe not.
5 in the morning
not tell him that we.
5:30 maybe.
Yeah.
We need to. Yeah, we got to get face to face. All right then.
Okay, so if you call the precinct now before you go to bed and ask for Lieutenant Poole, they say, hold on. Poole's not going to be in until around 10 or so, maybe 11 in the morning.
Cool.
Can I take a message?
Yeah. I guess I'm on the phone now. Just tell him that Margot and Feyrouz want to talk to him. They were by before. This is their valet. Johnson.
All right, I'll leave the message.
Oh, the Waldorf Astoria rooms.
Okay, got it.
Oh, great. I think I nailed that, guys. He hangs up.
Boom goes the dynamite.
All right, so 10 a.m.
Okay, I think I can get these developed before he gets into work. It should only take me a few hours, so.
All right, and as soon as you're done, maybe we could both go over and have a chat with Detective Poole.
Yes. Is there anything else we want to bring? Any other evidence? Should we bring
here's the
box?
ledger. Take the ledger.
I have the book. Oh, I have the book, and we'll take that ledger.
Did you take, like, the headband or anything?
Oh,
The
you know what? I
knife?
forgot. I got this thing in my pocket. It's the human tongue.
Oh my god.
Carter
Don't show Devon.
Whoa.
Carter reaches it, drops it by accident, steps on it, gets
Margot
lit.
sees it and has, like, a moment because she lost sanity when she saw it, and she's just like, where'd that come from?
I got dust out of that. Blowing on it. Here, give him this thing.
Oh,
Okay,
dry
Feyrouz.
heaving as she.
All right, so guys are going to get a little bit of sleep, and then early in the morning, Margot's going to get up and go try. Places aren't going to open until 9 a.m. If you're going to rent a spot. So we'll say you head to a place, you want to be there for 9 to start doing that. Sometime after 10, you could head to the precinct to try and meet with Poole, unless he calls you back. At 10:30, I believe it's 10:30, you have a meeting with Bradley Gray on the Upper East Side. Gray and what was the name of that?
I have 10 a.m. in my notes.
Oh, you have
with
10 a.m.
Bradley.
Okay, Dunstan, Whittleby, and Gray at West 57th Street. Oh, it's actually in Hell's Kitchen. So Dunstan, Whittleby, and Gray 10 a.m. So yeah, no one's getting a lot of sleep. Vaughn, are you gonna sleep this off, or are you just gonna wake up with everybody else and start your day? And if so, who are you going with?
guess that depends on what people want.
Who's going to meet Bradley Gray, I should say? And who's going to see Poole?
Well, according to the phone call, I guess Margot and I are going to go see Poole.
I'm sorry, I only did that because you guys had gone to him the second time, so I figured there was like a rapport.
Totally fine.
So Carter and I go to the law firm.
But Noura, if you would rather do,
yeah.
Oh no,
else.
totally fine. I absolutely love that. Like you made that decision, and I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing.
Okay,
I'll ask you this, Troy, mechanically, just because I'm not altogether certain.
Yeah.
You mentioned sleeping off. Is there an amount of sleep that I could get that would reduce the?
I say we don't find out and just go.
If not, then
Yeah, no, it's really all flavor at this point.
Great. So in that case,
you're just going to be off.
Just do your thing,
kilter.
Ross.
I think when you wake up, Vaughn's already awake, just standing, rigid, smoking.
Came into my room. You good, Vaughn?
Of course, old man. Never better.
All right, great. Let's. I just gotta shave real quick. It shouldn't take long. Carter goes to shave and fucks up so many times that he has like just tiny little tissue papers all over the visible side of his face because he's fucked up.
So shaky.
All right, let's go.
Fairuz, are you heading to develop these photos, or are you going to hang back and call Miskatonic?
Well, that's an interesting question. Who would I be calling at Miskatonic that might be interested or helpful or useful?
This Australian lecturer.
Okay. I'll hang back and call and just tell Margot I'll meet up with her in case she needs anything.
Okay. All right, where do we begin? We'll start with Margot arriving at the place, renting a spot, goes in, dark room, flips the lights, just red lights. I mean, I don't know what they look like back then.
So listen, when you are developing your film, you go into a pitch black room in order to take it out of your camera, and you're fumbling around in the dark, like not being able to see, and you're trying to like spool it into this thing, get it in there, and then you can turn the lights on and then start adding chemicals at different times and temperatures. So, but it starts out pitch black.
Oh, I love that.
By yourself.
We just see you
Just
like
fumbling
from behind.
around.
Like obviously it's pitch black, but we can see, and we're just slowly moving in behind you as you're fumbling at your camera, almost like there's another presence in the room.
We hear the face
She's
wall.
like struggling to line up the film with the spool a little bit more than she usually does, just because she really wants to get that light back on. She's had a rough night, obviously. Ugh.
Finally get it out, and you get to work. And I don't know the process other than what I've seen on TV, and I'm sure it's changed a lot from how they did it in 1925. But talk me through this. What does this process look like to you?
So, a lot of the developing process, I feel like it's just muscle memory, knowing to do this for X amount of time at this temperature with this chemical. So she's got a bit of time before I feel like the more interactive printing part of it to just like, it's to think and about what just happened, whether she wants to or not, until she gets to the printing phase of it. So yeah, she's just adding chemicals to the container that the spool is in, agitating it mindlessly, just staring out, stirring, agitating for 14 minutes exactly. Oh, the timer went off. Okay. Empties it, rinses it a few times, the next chemical, agitates, spaces out. Luckily, there's a timer every time, so she doesn't do it for too long or mess up. But yeah, after it's all done, she can take it out, unravel it, and like maybe hold it up to the light for the first time and just look at the negatives.
Okay. And how long does that process take?
I don't know about the 1920s.
3 days.
Let's say 30 minutes.
Okay. Michael,
It's a 1 hour photo situation.
It's whatever. Michael, if you can let me know in our side chat here, it's Thursday morning now, right? So I believe it's Thursday. And the dark of the moon is Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, Thursday, January 22nd. Thank you, Michael. You have no other standing appointments for the rest of the week, but you do know that whatever the importance of the dark of the moon is, that is 2 days away. So you're developing, and you start to look at the negatives, and you hold them up to the red light? Who knows how they did it back then? You're looking, and you see people coming in out of Juju House. You see the dead bodies, and I mean, they're just mangled. It's hard to even tell that they were monsters because they look like they were brutally slaughtered, when in fact you were just defending yourself with your new sawed-off shotgun. Then you see the room with all the things in it, the robe hanging on the wall, the spiked hand, the Carter's smushing that lockbox full of who knows what.
Oh, you got me on camera? God. Burn that one.
Then you see this image that you don't remember, and it's so strange because you're staring at it, and you're like, what the hell is that? And then you realize it looks like that mask that you were staring at. But something about it doesn't jar with your memory of it. And
maybe the fact that it's a negative is confusing me, and maybe when I print it, maybe that's what she's thinking, like, oh, this must be more familiar maybe once I print it.
Yeah. So then we move on to that phase of the printing, and all these pictures start to come out, and you see this other one now of the multi-faced monstrosity that was in the pit. But then you find that one with the mask, and I imagine we see it like slowly come into vision, and it's you standing there with this basket mask over your head, just screaming.
I think she, as soon as it becomes apparent, like the image starts to fully be there and she sees what it is, she just like jumps back from the tray, stops agitating it. It probably continues to develop and it burns out a little bit. And she's just like, wait, how is this possible? How is this possible? Like in her head, what's happening? She's looking at the negative again, the order of the picture she took. She's like, no, there must be a reason. How this can't be me. How did this happen? Yeah.
And then we cut.
Yeah. Reason.
We cut from there to Vaughn and Carter, ripping smokes, walking to West 57th Street.
I feel great. I don't know about you. I feel awesome.
All had a couple hours of restless sleep. There's there's still snow all over the ground. Maybe there's even a light flurry out, but at least it's daytime. You don't have that extra added nervousness that comes from walking around at night. And you get to the offices of Dunstan, Whittleby, and Gray. And you go upstairs to the front desk.
Yes, how may I help you?
Hello. We're here to meet with Bradley Gray. This is Masters Tillinghast and Villiers.
And the woman is just staring at your half face.
Oh, madam, I've noticed that you've taken an interest in my half face. I can assure you, my sweet, I am even more handsome on this side of my face. He tinks the thing.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I've never seen anything like that. I'm so sorry.
It happens all the time.
It was quite rude of me.
No, please.
You were here to see Mr. Whittleby or Mr. Who was it
Mr.
again?
Gray.
Gray.
Gray. All right, and Tillinghast and
Villiers.
Villiers. Yes, I have a 10 o'clock here. Please have a seat. I'll check to see if Mr. Gray's ready.
Thank you. I nearly stumbled over my words because I was taken aback by your beauty, madam.
Oh, you're too kind.
And then he realizes he's got all these all these toilet paper bits on his face.
She just looks at you. like you're a monster.
I'm fine.
And then she goes back, yes, Mr. Gray, we'll see you right now.
Yes, thank you.
And she brings you back. It's a small office. This isn't like the New York Times, but it's nice. And there's 3 main offices and then a couple of desks for like assistants. And she brings you to the last one at the end, and it just says Bradley Gray, partner. And you look inside, and sitting behind the desk is a slender, well-dressed man, but almost like foppishly dressed. He's got like a big fluffy ascot. He's got dark, wavy hair that's graying just at the temples. And he's smiling, and he's got a very bold white smile, and maybe some worry lines around his eyes and mouth, but he looks rather cheerful when compared to some of the other people you've met. And he says, please sit down. Mr. Tillinghast.
That would be me, Carter Tillinghast. Good to meet you, sir.
Yes, pleasure. And you would then be Mr. Villiers, yes?
Yes, indeed.
All right, please. Well, sit down. Your associate, he's looking at this paperwork, Mr. Ramsey, tells me you have an interest in speaking with my client, Miss Carlyle. I'm sure you understand that Miss Carlyle is quite busy. She is a bit of a socialite, humanitarian. She has a lot of interests, as well as just running the Carlyle estate. May I ask what this is in reference to?
You may, of course. Go ahead.
What is this in reference to?
Gotcha. Well, first of all, I want to go ahead and apologize in advance. Mr. Villiers and I had a bit of a night last night, kind of took in the sights of the town. We're tourists, I don't know if you could tell.
Oh, yes.
And we got after it last night, so I do apologize if we have a bit of a brain fog right now.
Well, it's to be expected. New York is the city that never sleeps.
Yes, we've learned that, and among many other things that it does not do. Yes, so listen, this is a bit of a sensitive situation, so I do hope that we have your utmost assurance that this information does not leave these walls apart from getting back to your client.
Well, yes, I don't speak to anybody. It's not as if you have attorney-client privilege, but I don't tell tales after school. If that's what you're worried about, Mr. Tillinghast.
Right. Well, as long as we have the Hippocratic Oath going on. Now, listen.
It's not how that works.
What?
No, please continue.
Yes. We may have received information via various sources pertaining to Erica's brother's expedition.
He bristles a little bit, and maybe even caught him rolling his eyes.
Now, I know what you're thinking, sir. You're thinking, these 2 incredibly handsome gentlemen are in here trying to shake me down, trying to get some money, trying to take part in the fame and the fortune and all the headlines, the tabloids, if you will, that did surround this particular expedition.
Mr. Tillinghast, I'm sure your time is valuable, as is mine.
Absolutely not.
The entire case is closed, as far as we understand, and I'm sure my client, Miss Carlyle, does not want to drudge up any bad memories of her deceased brother.
Now, of course. We understand that you have the best interests of your client at heart, and we have no interest in causing any sort of scam. We wish to be as discreet as I'm sure your client does. We wish only to, perhaps, interview her and peruse, if we may, what papers she may have in her effects, to carry on the work of our departed comrade who was delving into the mysteries surrounding her brother's unfortunate expedition in Africa. That we may shed a greater light on the misfortune that occurred.
Mr. Villiers, I do apologize for your loss. You mentioned you had a friend who passed. I'm sure you can imagine the number of people that have tried to interview my client. Everyone wants to be the one that writes the next book on Roger Carlyle. But this is not something she is interested in. We are not looking for you or anyone to tarnish the Carlisle name, whether that's your intention or not. So I just don't see...
Do you think she would be interested to know that at least one member of that party was spotted alive after the assumed death of the party?
I beg your pardon.
We are under great assumptions that... No, not assumptions, because that would imply that I'm making an ass out of yourself and myself. That's not what I'm doing here, clearly. I'm no ass, sir.
All right.
We have it on good authority that at least one member of that party was spotted in Hong Kong.
Who and when? And where did you get this information?
Vaughn?
This was the research and indeed the life's work of our compatriot, the departed Jackson Elias.
Elias, was he that, Jackson Elias, was he the author that was just found murdered not but a few days ago?
Unfortunately, the very same.
And this was a friend of yours?
Yes, indeed.
So you have it from this deceased man's authority that he saw a member of the... Which member, may I ask?
Jack Brady, I believe, was the name
go.
of the gentleman in question.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brady.
That lines up with my notes.
Yes, well...
And so it was,
Yes.
the subject of our companion's research that not all the members of the exhibition perished. If that is the case, it complicates the picture formed by the authorities.
I understand that, but do you have any proof as to this? I cannot just set up a meeting on hearsay. I will say my interest is ever so slightly piqued. But if you'd like a meeting with Miss Carlisle, I'm going to need more than a dead man's assumptions. No offense, meant.
Right.
I just think that Carter starts to pretend cry. I mean, just the way you're talking about him makes it sound like it's all so trivial, sir. It's... How dare you belittle the death of our...
I meant no offense. I meant no offense at all. I just, I'm sorry, we've ever since this whole mess, Miss Carlisle has been inundated with people wanting to suck at the Carlisle teat.
I'm not trying to suck anything right now.
Well, what do you see a meeting with Miss Carlisle? Like, what would you do other than tell her this information? Because I could easily pass this information on.
Vaughn?
Yes, of course, but the intimacy between Miss Carlisle and her brother, I believe, would lend clarity and depth to her recollections, which might be lacking in a mere message passed ear to ear. And also there's the matter of the papers that she has in her collection. Papers that I believe our friend was eager to peruse, and we would be falling short in our duty to his departed soul if we did not seek to take up the mantle of his great work.
And we'd be willing to wiping away the fake tears. And also we'd be willing to sign any sort of NDA or anything that you think would be appropriate in terms of protecting the Carlisle name so that we would promise to not go to the press. You could hold us liable, all that whatever jargon.
Oh, no, yes, we'd certainly want to leave the press out of this. We don't need anything besmirching the Carlisle name.
No. We've been through so much.
Give me a persuade or a fast talk here, whatever angle you guys want to go.
If anything, I should hope this would provide succor and comfort to Miss Carlisle, knowing that there is a possibility that her brother is among the living. I find it is frequently a comfort to find that what you thought was dead.
We got it, Vaughn. We got the whole picture painted. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and roll persuade here. I rolled a 42 under 65.
He, especially the idea that you might take this to the press and blow this up, he doesn't like that. He has to protect the Carlisle name. He's like, well, I suppose I could set up a meeting. I would, of course, be present for this. I should have you know that's her choice, not mine.
Sure, of course.
But it's only right for me to be there, and should the interview go awry at all, we'll end it. I just have to let you know that that's how these things work. But that doesn't erase the fact that Miss Carlisle is very busy, very busy. She has parties to throw and galas to host and appear at. So
we are both from money, if you had
Yes, of course. No doubt. Is she hosting any galas in the city anytime soon?
I don't believe she has any in the city, but I know she has one tomorrow evening at her home, which means I would not be able to secure any type of meeting with her until at least next week, maybe middle of next week, early next week if you're lucky. But if you leave a number, I can contact Mr. Ramsey and let you know if I'm able to secure a meeting with her. I could.
Sure, or if you want to just get us invitations to that party, we can just kind of take 5 minutes of our time and give her a quick chit-chat.
This is a $1,000 a plate dinner. I don't think it would be something we can just give out for free.
Is that true, Vaughn? Would that be a real problem?
What's the exchange rate going these days between dollars and pounds? Yes, I believe I can make that work.
I'm sure it's for charity.
Yes, it is a charity gala.
I can have my man in London wire the money.
Well, I'm sure Miss Carlisle would be very happy to take your money for a very worthy cause.
And of course, we would be able to bring dates, I would assume, right?
It's $1,000 a head. And now he's looking at you. He's like, "There's no way they can afford $4,000." Well,
even that's. I mean, that's a. Vaughn is like, that is a lot, but
it's a hefty sum in 1925. Probably too hefty. I just made it up. But if this is something you're interested in pursuing, have your man Ramsey contact me, and I'll see what I can do.
Yes, of
Otherwise, a meeting next week.
Sure, but the party sounds more fun, and we could get everyone involved.
Yes, well,
maybe play some ragtime.
No, it's not that type of party at all. I would love to speak more, but we have a busy day here at my place of work, whose name I can't remember. Dunstan Whittleby and Gray.
Of course, we saw the sign.
Yes, if you ever get in trouble, don't call us. We
we've
seen mainly in copyright law.
We've seen your advertisements on bus stop benches.
Seen your billboards.
All right.
I mean, is it just for the sake of this spot hidden? Is there anything around this office that
sure.
gives me? Oh my gosh! I rolled a 6, which I believe is an extreme success. It is 675.
675. Yeah, you don't see anything of interest in this office whatsoever.
Glad I used it. Nice.
There's no pictures of family, so maybe you learn a little bit about him. He seems to be a single fellow.
Confirmed bachelor, I see.
Confirmed bachelor, as it were. And it looks like business is going pretty well for him. It's possible that Erica Carlisle's his only client, and that's all he needs to make his money. But he will contact Ramsey and let you know about the dinner as well as the meeting.
Right. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And is there a fruit plate anywhere on the way out? Do you guys have bananas or just some oranges? I just feel a little depleted from.
There is not.
Okay. Well, thank you again for your time. We will not hold the lack of fruit against you.
There is a bowl of wax fruit that you find out the hard way is not real.
I see. Yeah, Carter does the bounce off the elbow, grab it. This was fucking fake. This is a fake orange.
From there, we go back to the hotel, Waldorf Astoria, and while Margot is developing those photos, Fairuz is trying to get in touch with this professor.
Can we do it like a cinematic recap of like how? So Margot is like fumbling in the dark with the completely in the dark with the roll of film. And then Margot, and then Fayrouz is just sprawling out both the book that she just found and her personal journal and the charcoal rubbings from Peru and all of these notes that she had made sprawled all around the coffee table. And then we go back to Margot, and she's like mixing up chemicals in the red light, and then back to Fayrouz as she's like, you see her tracing a finger along as she's reading the contents of this new book that she has found that's forbidden, and then back to Margot as she's hanging up this photos that she's developing, and then back to Fayrouz as she's like dialing a rotary phone with her like red manicured chipped fingernail, and then back to Margot as she's like looking at this photo and seeing herself in it. And then back to Fayrouz as it's this David Lynchian zoom in on like the holes of the receiver end of this rotary phone. And that's where we start the scene.
I love this. Right next to you is Africa's Dark Sex, Open, by Nigel Blackwell, published in 1920, sextodecimo. 16 pages. They're like pages folded into 16 leaves, so it's a 32-page book. It's a blue pasteboard cover with marble end papers and blue-stained page edges. And maybe as it's open, we just see your eyes catching the inscription that says, "Property of the Trustees of Harvard University," on the inside cover.
It's the one that was an At-Right's collection.
Get through, you ask to speak with Professor Cowles, you get bounced around a little bit, and finally you get a number and a voice picks up. Oh God, I gotta do an Australian accent.
Yes.
Remind me what the professor's name is.
The professor's name is Anthony Dimsdale Cowles.
Anthony, is that on like a...
Oh, I can't wait.
Cowles?
Cowles, Cowles.
Okay.
But you hear a young woman's voice pick up. Good day.
Yes, hello, I'd like to speak to Professor Cowles, please. This is a very urgent moment.
Who may I ask is calling?
This is a graduate student of from Miskatonic University. We are in the same line of research. My name is Fayrouz Gibran.
Fayrouz Gibran? Well, my father's very busy. He cannot take calls from students right now.
Oh, it's
perhaps
your father.
Yes, perhaps you can set up an appointment
one professor's daughter to another, I can assure you I've been through all of the hoops and bells and whistles. This is actually an emergency, so if you could please put your father on the line right now, because this is absolutely urgent to his studies.
Well, I don't think anything could be so urgent that he would need to be called away at the moment.
I assure you it is.
If you set up a meeting with him for office hours, I'm sure you can talk to him in person if it's so important. Aren't you here? You could go meet him right now. He's over his office, as he is not here. But if you tried his office and didn't get him, then I don't know what to tell you. If it's so important, you'll find him.
I would like to tell you right now that being in a similar situation as yourself, being a professor's daughter in the chair, I would like to save you some trouble of being reprimanded later on for your misguided decisions. Why don't you just tell your father right now that I am on the line, no matter what he is doing?
All right. Click. And she hangs up.
No!
Yeah.
Wait, she said he was in his office right now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So call again, and you get to his office, and it just rings through.
Fucking Australians, man. You can't trust them.
You really can't.
Really,
Everything-
all of their vowels just meld
the
into
toilet
one
thing.
vowel.
Oh, I'm just glad I don't have to do that accent again.
You nailed it.
You did, though.
Too.
It was a little New Zealandy.
It gets it. Oh, I don't know the difference.
I don't know it either.
Yeah.
Is your father there? No.
No.
So yeah, little. You weren't expecting that. Maybe you'll get lucky if you call again later, and the daughter doesn't pick up. Go ahead and give me a no roll for a second.
Is this everybody or
what roll?
A no roll, just like an intelligence
An
roll.
intelligence roll. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be the best.
K-N-O-W. No.
Yes.
I rolled a 45 under 80.
Give me a yes roll. No, you seem to remember tales of this professor coming to Miskatonic. It was kind of a big deal, and even though it's not directly in your department, you're in the know. It's not like you attended one of his lectures per se, but like, and you know that he brought his daughter along with him, and like every guy at Miskatonic is falling in love with this girl because she came to campus and she walks around just garnering the attention of all the young men at Miskatonic. So you're starting to put two and two together and realize this is this girl that probably thinks she's pretty hot shit.
Right. I'm just wondering if I could maybe have my father call in a favor for me.
Oh, is it time to call Dad before you meet up with Margot?
Yeah.
Okay. How does he talk?
You
Also
tell
Australian.
me. His name is Nadim.
Nadim. Yes, I imagine. Hello. Hello, daughter.
I love putting you on the spot like this.
How you call him? Hello, who is this?
Baba, it's me.
Perus?
Yes.
Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm in New York right now.
New York? It is not safe for a girl your age to be in New York City.
Really,
Come
it's
home
not
this
safe.
instant.
And she just rolls her eyes. You know I'm not going to do that, Dad. Listen, I've sort of been giving you the ins and just the bare bones details, and she has.
Did you
Fayers
bring your
actually
cat to
has
New York
been.
City with you?
You know,
It's
this city is
dangerous
just
for a cat to
filled
be in
with
New York City.
felines. You can't escape. Everywhere that you turn, and there's sirens and fire trucks and cats.
Yes, I know New York very well.
But
Are you okay? Are you safe?
Fayers actually, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Are you in
I'm
love? Are you dating someone?
No. Can you just
know,
listen? I'm actually
You're not
conducting.
getting any younger, Feyruz. Your mother and I met a nice man who is an engineer, and he would like to marry you. But you have to
I
leave
said-
New York City.
And I said no the last 10 times that
No,
you've done
this is a fourth engineer.
Yes, but the 10th husband you tried to pawn me off to, and that's, I can assure you, it's not going to work. So, why
All right,
don't...
what do you need, my daughter?
Well, you know that I have been giving you brief correspondences on my research, and Fayrouz has been giving him details on what's been going on. I feel like I'm a little over my head, to be honest. I'm trying to reach this professor who's visited Miskatonic, who's based in Australia. I'm sure perhaps you know his name. Sorry, what is his name again? Because I keep forgetting.
Anthony Dimsdale Cowles, I believe?
Cowles. Professor Cowles, based in Australia, but I told you about the things in Peru, and the person that led us on this expedition has been murdered, as you know, and we've been trying to...
He's been murdered? Isn't this the friend you went to meet when you went to New York City? When was he
Yes.
murdered?
Just, 2 weeks now?
Just like less 1 week ago.
Baba, it's just a week ago.
1 week ago.
And I know that it's nefarious, and I know that he knew something. And we found this book that's been tied into what he was looking for in this antiquities shop in this basement in the Baba, there were bodies, disemboweled bodies. They were not.
No. Listen, you take after me. Your search for knowledge is insatiable, and I love you for that. But these journeys can be fraught with danger. I do not want you to end up like your friend. Dead bodies, secret basements, books, unmarried women, your age. I fear for you.
This is unlike. This is my life's work, though. This is everything that I've. All of the secret knowledge. It's all coming to light slowly, but I know that I feel like I just don't know what direction to step in. But I can't stop now. You wouldn't stop now. You wouldn't want me to stop now.
No, but what good is a life's work if there is no life to have? You must always know when to stop. If anything ever happened to you.
But there are things happening that are dealing with people's insanity, and I think about Mama and what happened to her and how the things that she was writing, and it all just...
Yes, we do not need to think about such things.
But I do. How can I live the rest of my life? How can I look at her journal? How could I... Then she left so suddenly, and the things that she was saying, it all sounds the same. You should not be reading that journal.
Do you not think I think of these things too?
You never talk about it. You never talk about it.
Because it is dangerous to think about. It is dangerous to talk about. It is best to just move on. And you must do the same.
You and I know that we both cannot move on from this.
I will call Miss Katonic for you.
Thank you.
Please, be safe.
I'll try. Thank you, Baba.
And he hangs up. So at least you know your dad's going to try and take care of this. You know how long it's going to take. So you go meet up with Margot.
Yeah.
Head over to take a dip in the pool. Lieutenant pool. You head downstairs to the lobby to meet up with Margot. And the person working the front desk sees you, and it's not the same one that saw you come in drunk, so he doesn't know you're a scumbag. It's like, excuse me, are you staying with Mr. Villiers?
Yes.
We have a message for him from. Can you take his messages or?
Absolutely, I could take those messages for you.
All right, here. And he hands you a note, and it just says, it's a message from Rebecca Schosenberg. It says, call me, urgent.
Okay, let's call her before going to pool. He doesn't know that we're coming, so let's call her first. Maybe upstairs?
Yeah, Margot met you back up there, so you guys could head over to pool together.
Yeah.
Margot spent the morning at Columbia University using their labs, but now she's back. And so you guys go back up to the room and you call Rebecca.
Yeah.
Get patched through. Vaughn, is that you?
No, I apologize. It's a friend. I'm actually staying with Vaughn right now, but he's sleeping at the moment, but I heard this was urgent, and so I thought I would call in right now just to make sure that everything was all right.
We met the other day at the Lafayette Theater.
Yes.
Which one were you? Are you? Well, obviously you're not the German one. Fairuz?
Right, yes. Fairuz, not the German one. Thank you for that.
I'm the German one. We're holding the phone together, right next to each other.
Hello, the German one. Hello. Well,
love
listen,
these labels for us.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I know I said urgent because it may very well be urgent. I don't want to get anybody too nervous, but Millie Adams is missing,
What?
No.
and we'll see you next week.
No.
Oh no.
This is
The best game.
I didn't think about other characters dying. Maybe.
you only think about yourself.
Oh my goodness.